45945. Don't forget us Throwback Thursday. Just playing you some smashing hits from not so long a time. Some of those hits are as fresh as 2000s, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8, 10, 12. You know, so these were massive hits. These were songs that we used to play back in the clubs and jamming at parties. Now you play those songs and the Gen Zs, they can't relate with it. These songs are like old school, you know. But now, after the music, we'll be switching to the conversation and to the frontal, especially on local government development. Utwekong, good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning to the captain of the flight, Ike. Good morning, listeners, and happy Thursday. The weather seems cloudy. I want to pray that it shouldn't rain because
you have interest.
I have interest, especially some areas are already flooded, like we had recently, where someone was submerged. Yeah, was submerged. Was it? Yeah, I think that is Silvanus Okon or Silvanus Okon.
Everett Housing Extension.
Yeah. So I think some areas are already flooded, and NIMET has already given a forewarning that we will be having this.
Was also named.
Part of it will be having this flooding. So I think that I pray that the cloud I'm seeing clouded should not descend on the people of the state today.
Well, you can't stop nature. Nature will be nature.
Yeah.
But let's leave nature and talk about us as a people. Let's talk about development at the local level. I already laid the foundation. I talked about things happening with the calling for local government autonomy, even the call for scrapping of CX, and most recently, what His Excellency, the Governor has said that no local transition chairman will be given a pass mark without showing up their scorecard. You joined that particular oversight function performed at the State Assembly, and you came last week, Wednesday, to give us your take, and you're saying that very soon a recommendation will be out on which the governor will act on. But let's talk about the local government system. Let's work on your take. How has it fared thus far?
I have been an advocate of scorecard, first off. Secondly, local government system in Nigeria generally has collapsed. We have, over the years, for the past 20 years now, been advocating for independence or for autonomy of local government system in Nigeria. Reason being that the grassroots had suffered. If you look at the 3 tiers of government as encapsulated in our constitution, you will see that the only tier that is suffering is the local government system. And why is this suffering? It is because the law, the constitution, tied the local government system to the states and makes it an apron of the state government. And so it now makes the state governors to decide who call the shot at local government levels. So this has, over the years, crippled development and good governance and local government systems. So you can now see where the system has become a ground where some governors will choose to compensate their followers and say, go and be council chairman, go and be councillor, and they detect what happens there. And in most cases, if you have a governor that is a tyrant who wouldn't want to obey the laws, he will decide what should be given to the local government system. I was just listening to an interview by the chairman of Ikwe local government area, I think in River State, and I watched him carefully when he was trying to explain how the local government system has fared in River State under the governor Sim Fubara. And he said that, for instance, that the governor bypassed the local government chairman, and went and paid the civil servants that are in the local government system, because the governor doesn't like the faces of the council chairman.
Well,
I am saying that is loyal to. Yeah. Now, whether a chairman is loyal to you or not shouldn't be the basis for you to decide what the council should get. I'm trying to draw an inference so that you can get where I'm coming from. So it doesn't depend on you as a governor to now dictate what should be at the local government system. Just like the president of Nigeria cannot dictate what the state governors should do. And just like you cannot have a caretaker committee at the state level or at the federal level, like the president is not there, you now constitute an interim government or caretaker committee level at the federal level. Likewise at the state level. Why then do you have it at the local government system? This is what has crippled our development at local government level. Now moving forward, the Constitution section 162 established local government state joint account, which I have over the years decried as the devil that has bewitched the growth of local government system. Now what does it say? It simply says the fund accruable to local government system shall be paid from the fact to joint account owned by the state and local government in the state. So when the commissioner of finance go to FAC meeting to meet with the minister of finance and the rest in Abuja, the chairman don't go, the treasurer of the local government system don't go, because they will wait until when the commissioners of finance return, the monies accruable to the state will be paid to the state, and then the one accruable to the local government council will now be paid into the state local government joint account. Then on getting to the state level, there will now be a joint account committee meeting between the local government chairman and the governor's appointees. In this case, Minister of Finance, Minister of Local Government, and other appointees of the governor will now sit and deliberate with the treasurers first of all, and then second, they will now meet with the council chairman. So at that point, they will now decide what each council will go home with. And I have over the years lamented that you could have, for instance, when from the joint account at the federal level, the funds that should be accruable to a local government system, for instance, could be 300 million. And this 300 million is accruable to a particular local government council. When it gets to joint account, when it gets to JAC at the state level, what the chairman or the council might be entitled might not be close to anything close to 100 million. Because at that level, the state governors decide what should go to the local government. And this now makes the local government system to become frustrated. So you don't have the chairman being able to develop or compete amongst themselves. That is the point. You don't have council chairmen being able to even tar a road. What they can do is, and when we went to the tour, what the highest I have heard a local government chairman said he has done is to grade road. I used to grade road. I go and check it. I grade road. So grading of road shouldn't be an achievement of local government that is entitled to allocation. But what you hear, the highest I have heard throughout the tour we have gone round was, I have grade road, I have grade road. No one has been able to tar a kilometer of road. And this is a shame, a crying shame for local government system. You grade road today, the rain comes and wash it off. The roads I used to grade, I do it twice a year. First in January, and after the rains in November, I do another one. Because that road that you grade today will be washed off by the rains. So grading road shouldn't be an achievement of local government administration. Building of lock-up stores, building of of motor parks shouldn't be an achievement. They should be able to have industries, cottage hospitals, build industries. Go and see the cottage, the primary healthcare system. It has collapsed. Why? Because it is in the residual list of the local government administration. So you have a local government system who doesn't even have funds to run. Then you talk of going to build primary healthcare system. It doesn't work. So you can now, for instance, when you go around, you will see that look, the primary healthcare system has collapsed. The primary schools have collapsed. You could see the school pupils studying under the trees because they don't have classroom blocks, except for few chairmen who have been able to build classroom blocks. During the tour, I have seen some chairmen who have been able to add classroom blocks for what has already been existing. The rest chairmen don't do it because perhaps you could excuse them. But I'm happy for the government of Pastor Eno. Reason is that within 6 months of appointing the current transition committee chairman, he has allow for people for his committee that he put up to go around to verify what they have done. He ordered that the chairman should submit their scorecards to his office on or before the 20th of May, because the tenure of the chairman will be elapsing, the committee will be elapsing on the 7th today. By today, the assembly should be able. 7th is tomorrow. Yes. By today, the assembly should be able to, rectify by a resolution that the governor should extend the tenures of the transition committee chairman. Because by midnight today, the tenure should elapse. By tomorrow, we should have a new person or whoever the governor will so wish to reappoint. Now, having said this, what the federal government has done under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I still re-emphasize, is a welcome development for the polity. Recall that when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he created 44 local government councils. And the president of Nigeria then, President Olusegun Obasanjo, opposed it and withheld the funds of the entire local government areas of Lagos. And then Tinubu went to court. President Tinubu, then Governor Tinubu, went to court, to Supreme Court, to seek to interpret the constitution, whether the state does not have the powers to create local government council. Supreme Court ruled in favor of the federal government that for you to create local government council, you have to amend the constitution to enlist those councils you have so created in the constitution. That is why you have 774 local government councils named in the local government in the constitution of Nigeria. So the funds that are goes to this local government as per their names. If you create 54 local government councils, you have to also go and amend the constitution to enlist those 54 in the constitution. So the governor of Lagos State lost to the federal government. Now what it now did was the governor of Lagos State now came and changed the name to Area Development Council. No more local government council now. So the funds that are accruable to the other existing ones that are enlisted in the constitutions are now being, shared to this Area Development Council. Now, what the governor was trying to do as at then, was to take development nearer to the people at the grassroots. That is what the governor of Lagos State, as at then, was trying to do. Now, having become the president of Nigeria, he understood the challenges of local government administration, one of which is what you have just called the CX, State Independent Electoral Commission. This is another hurdle that needed to be crossed. That is why when I saw it in part of the argument listed in the case that the federal government has filed against the state government at the Supreme Court, part of it is the CX. I dare say that the Supreme Court will not rule in favor of the federal government. I'm just saying this because it is very clear that that one is an issue of constitution review. You have to, for the CX to be removed, to be scrapped, or to transfer the function of the CX to INEC as the federal government is pleading in the Supreme Court, you have to also go and alter our constitution to reflect it, that henceforth the powers of CX is now being transferred to another body called INEC, and then the CX is now being delisted from the constitution. So that argument, in my own opinion, might not fly. The other argument is the funding of local government administration. I want to also say that what the federal government is asking for is for the Supreme Court to interpret. Mind you that the Supreme Court is a court of law and court of public policy, to look at the way local government system has fared in the state and make pronouncement if indeed the funds accruable to local government system should be paid to joint account, where the governors will hold sway and dictate what should go to the local government administration. That is another point that the federal government is raising. So we will await the outcome. But if there will be a substantial pronouncement, it must touch on the amendment of the Constitution, section 162, sub 4, 5, and 6. Now we move forward to the issue of appointment of a transition committee chairman to man local government system. This is a breach. This is a breach of section 7. Yes, I'm coming now. This is a breach. I'm coming. This is a breach of section 7 of the Constitution that guarantees elected people to be made to man the local government system. To appoint anyone to man office that is elected by Section 7 of our Constitution guarantees that those who should be local government administrators must be elected. It's guaranteed by election. That action is completely illegal, null and void, and unconstitutional. So I am happy that Akwa Ibom State government has, through the AKISIEC, Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission, issued a timetable listing out procedures election will hold by October 26th. I think by the timetable, that's what I saw. October 26th. And we are also engaging. Let me also say this. I'm happy that the governor is a proactive governor. Proactive in the sense that he listens to the yearnings of the people of the state. I have over the time called out the government that the local government system is dying and that you need to allow it to breathe. The local government system is tied to the purse string of the state governors, doesn't allow the system to breathe over the years. But this governor has now listened. The fund that is now accruing to the local government system has tremendously increased, even though it is not what is accruable to them from the fact. But what they now receive has been tremendously increased compared to what has been accruing to the council in time past. Now, moving forward, I want to look out for a competitive election because October is just 4 months, it's 4 or 5 months from now. So we need to see parties coming out to compete. But sadly, in Akwa Ibom instance, I use the word with emphasis, in Akwa Ibom instance, you will see that prior to election, political parties that will come out to buy forms will later on mortgage their candidates or trade off their candidate to one party, and it becomes a one-party affair. So we need to allow for parties to compete. Let's have a competitive election whereby you have parties coming up to compete. Don't go and mortgage your candidate or your party's interest, because when you do that, you will allowing one party to win from the chairman to councillorship level.
That takes me to my question, because of course, with the current push of this administration to see how to bring about local government autonomy and guarantee elections at the local government level, which many people have said is a selection, allegedly, this issue of scrapping of SIEC, people have also argued that as long as you have SIECs and they are funded by the state government, you can never have a credible election. How true is this?
You know, the problem of SIEC, by virtue of my advocacies and my experiences, my interaction with people that are mounting offices, both in the state SIECs, not only in Akwa Ibom, but generally in the country, and both chairmen of councils, I have come to realize that the problem of SIEC is not the name, it's not the nomenclature. It is the fact that the funding of SIEC, just like the funding of judiciary and the funding of the House of Assembly, used to come from the state government. So for instance, you have House of Assembly that would need to do a public hearing and will go to the governor to ask for funds to fund the public hearing. You recall that you had PASAN, Parliamentary Union, coming out to protest, to even lock up the House of Assembly in Akwa Ibom State and other states, saying that they need their autonomy as guaranteed in the Constitution. You even have the judiciary workers, Johnson coming out to also protest, locking up the judiciary, that they need independence because the funding of this arm of government comes from the executive. Mind you, you have three arm of government: the executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And by the principle of power separation, you don't need to have one man being in more than two arms of this government. So you won't have one man being in executive arm, the same man appearing in the judiciary or appearing in the legislature. But when the same man pays either of these two, he automatically appears seemingly in these arms of government. And that now makes them to be tied to the purse string of the man who is paying. And that is the popular saying that he that pays the piper dictates the tune. So you could now have The judiciary, for instance, will need funds for its programs and activities, and then will go and sit to wait for the governor at the lodge to get his funds. So if these funds are made to be paid directly to the account of the judiciary, straight from FAC, and the one to the House of Assemblies are paid straight to the account of the House of Assembly, you will see that there will be true independence. That is why, again, Rivers State has become a case study. See what happened in the House of Assembly, where the speaker of the speaker led by Amewule had to come out to cry out that the funds of the assembly have been withheld by the governor. So if the funds come directly from FAC, they don't have any business going to meet the governor for anything. They operate independently. Same thing happens to SIEC. So the SIEC in the state, because the funds come from the executive arm of government that set up that they appoint those who are there, and that now makes the SIEC to be tied to the apron string of the state government.
Invariably making elections.
That is the point. That is why you hardly.
Local level.
That is why it is difficult.
Controversial.
It's not controversial in the sense of it. It makes it to become a one-party affair.
Well, let me quote a popular writer activist and of course a renowned lawyer, Felin Falana, who says the elections at the local level is just mere coronation. He calls it a coronation. It's not an
absolutely. That is just the true sense of it. Let me give you an instance. Some years ago, many years ago, in this state, in Akwa Ibom State, election was held at the local government system some years ago, and the SIEC came out to do a press statement to say that one party has swept 31 local government council through a press statement in his office. There was no return. You know, normally they would do a return. There was no return. The media was not there to capture it. The observers were not there to monitor it. The party agents were not there to monitor the process. All they just sat in their office to do is they issue a press statement. One line press statement, just one line. That after election of Saturday, one party, just name it, has swept the one local government council. And that stood the day. We came out to decry the process. We questioned all this and asked for the process that led to this pronouncement. We never got the answer. Why? Because the person who was at the aim of affair of SIEC at that time was directed by the power that be to do so. And that ended it. You go to the court, you don't have justice. That those who went to court, those parties who went to court, you don't have justice. And those people who were by a press statement declared winner remained. So what are we trying to say? Election is a process. You should have election. Party primaries will be held. Stakeholders will be meeting with the agents that are involved. That is to say, the SIEC, the security agencies, the party agent. We should all be part of it. And at the end of it, we will now have elections that will be monitored by observers, by CSOs like us, by the press. And then when the returns are being made, you will now see all of us will be there. They will announce in polling unit this person won. In polling unit that, this person won. At the end of the day, this person has been returned the winner. That is the process that should lead to announcement of result of a winner of any local government election as has been applicable to the state and federal level. Now, having said this, I know you are itching to ask questions. having said this, I can tell you that we are moving to a greater level of liberation for local government system by the posture of Mr. President as at today.
You have admitted that some of these things can only be brought about through constitutional amendments.
Reviews, yes.
And if we do not have the constitution expeditedly amended to bring about this autonomy and scrapping of CX, can we conclude that development at the local government level may not come anytime soon until these two very cardinal issues are addressed?
You see, what you have today at the local government system is likened to a man who has been given a building with no roof. Get my analogy. A man who has been given a befitting mansion, they give you a mansion, but the roof is taken away. That automatically makes you to live in carcass. You are living in a carcass because there is no roof over your head. That's what is happening to local government chairman or local government system today in Nigeria, not just in Akwa Ibom. So you have the chairman who will be celebrated, and that's why most of them flee the local government system to local government areas to live in the headquarters of the state because of fear of insecurity. Because as you are announced as the chairman of local government council, automatically your community will come to you. People will come to you for one help or the other. People will look up to you for assistance, medical bill, transport this, school fees, all this and that. You need to be able to assist. But when the funds given to you to run the local government is not enough, you have to avoid that daily, visit by coming to stay in the urban.
Are you now justifying the reasons why it's been difficult to get this local government chairman to leave in their locality? Are you justifying this by your explanation?
I am also having a peep. I'm peeping through their mind, peeping through their experiences and what they are going through. I'm also a human being, even though I advocate that they should live at the local government system. Let me give you another example. There was a particular year, years back also, a particular local government chairman from my own local government had to move the local government council or headquarters to his house in Uyo. He moved. How did he do it? He didn't know that what he did was to relocate the local government headquarters to Uyo. In his house, in his parlor, he set up a small office in his parlor in Uyo, and then put a nameplate, executive chairman, put his name there, and put it on his table in Uyo, and put 2 flags behind the seat on his table, on his desk. So when we go to visit him in Uyo to discuss issues, because each time he's normally in Uyo, and we're like, what is happening at the council? He said I will soon be there by 12. But you're having meetings discussing council matters in Uyo, in your house. And he told us, don't you see that? Have you not seen? I mean, from here I will move to my local government council. I told him, say, sir, with all due respect to you, you have erroneously, either knowing or knowingly, moved the local government headquarters to Uyo, to your house. He said, how? I said, how dare you have your name, your table name plate, you put your name and put behind the chairman in Uyo, in your office, in your house in Uyo, and you have 2 flags behind your desk.
With a table.
With a table. And so the files that you are treated are here. I mean, I would have thought that this is your home, not an office. But now it become an office, and you have already put your table name plate, you put your flags, and you are operating. So you now go to Bayani to pay salaries and come back to you and leave.
That is paying salaries.
Paying salaries. So that is what you had at that time. So when this governor, Pastor Moeno came on board, he now directed that all the chairmen should relocate or leave in Uyo. Now, let me add this.
Before you continue, please, sorry. What I'm going to add is very, very important to your explanation. I thought there was a security village for this.
That is where I was coming to.
What happened to it?
That is where I was coming to. You see, security village, some local government chairmen, some local government councils had it completed. That is what you should note. Part of the tour that we did was to also ask the chairman, where do you reside? And then we asked them to show us the farm that the government said that they should, be able to farm, cultivate in the local government area. And all the chairmen will tell you, I live in Solid Village, I live in Solid Village. And some of them took us to their house, to their homes. Now, let me say this. In fairness to some of the council chairmen, they don't have security villages to live. That is why I think I'm aware that the governor, Umoino, is trying to also build what you can call, local government lodge, chairman lodge or something for the local government chairman who don't have these security villages to stay. So when you are chasing the chairman away from Uyo, for instance, and from Eket and from Ikore, which is the metropolitan cities, where would they go and stay? They have to go to where they will have a home. And some of them, because of the fear of being, visited every day by people who come from one help or the other, and they don't have the fund to take care of it, they have to relocate to the nearest city, maybe Eket, maybe Uyo, maybe Ike, where they can stay and feel a little bit safer. But that is not to justify that when you are given an appointment or an assignment, you should carry out the job in line with the law. Because when you do that, when you locate from your council, it's even a breach. In fact, the governor didn't need to even say it. It is there in the local government law that the chairman must reside at the local government headquarters of their councils. It's there in the local government law. So the government didn't need to even come and say it. But it's good for the government to even remind them that they are breaching the law that they swore to uphold. Truth be told, some of these chairmen don't have security villages to stay. And even the ones that have it are not living there because they feel that people come there every day to ask for one help or the other. But I'm happy again that Pastor Moino is bringing a difference into the local government system. Why do I say this? We have had two different tours. The assembly, when we, the CSO, joined, the Crown joined, and now you have the governor putting up a team again within a space of 1 month to go again to check, to verify. This will put the chairman on their toes. So even those who will be elected year after, in October, we will know that one day, the CSOs, the House of Assembly, the governor would ask that a team go around to check what is happening in the local government system.
All right, at this juncture, let's bring you into the conversation. We're talking about the local government system and matters connected therewith. What's your contribution? Because we've treated everything at the local level, because we cannot always be talking about national, and then we forget that we are from a particular local government area, and development is very important at that local government area. And so we must discuss the snags, the clog in the wheel of progress, if you like, that is preventing the local government administration from being truly developed. So 0906 000 4945. Alternatively 0906 000 5945. Text and WhatsApp 0906 000 599455. It's 1 minute per call. Hello, good morning.
Yes, morning, the flight captain.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
Thank you. This is Kantoke, calling from you.
Good morning, sir.
You have spoken. That is what is supposed to be in the local government. But let me just say, the federal government now will be the one to pay allocation direct to the local government. It's a welcome development. And also, the federal government INEC is going to be the one that will check the local government election. They will not scrap out the share. But it is the INEC from Abuja. They are the one that they are going to control and to check the local government election. This Kwaigon, the local government election will go to Bayelsa. Then Bayelsa will come to Kwaigon. Then North will go to Calabar. Then that is how the schedule is. So it's nice. So let's applaud Mr. President because local government, if you go to it, it's very, very interior.
All right. Conclude.
You create the road instead of tie the road. Why do you create the road instead of tie the road? That's what I've been always campaigning here. A local government chairman supposed not to create the road.
All right, Gandoki, your time is up. Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Captain.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I am Philip. I'm calling from you.
Go ahead.
Captain, I agree with the guest in the studio that the local government situation has to do with the constitutional, amendment. But if I am to be the president, I would have played a very fast policy in this regard because the APC, they have majority of the governors. I'm thinking in this avenue that the governor, being a core politician or the president being a core politician now, should look at the way of meeting with all the governors of APC or his party and allow them to accede to this particular bill that has to do with the local government. Remember, this bill came to the state houses of assembly and they rejected it. Even the statement in acquired the state, previously, we just take that particular autonomy when it came to them. So I think we should play that policy by aligning with all the governors of the APC, make the states have the majority now and sign that particular bill into law. Then other governors will follow suit at this point in time. It's going to the Supreme Court, seeking for this, taking all these governors to the court. Will not solve the problem because at the end of it all, the Supreme Court also declared them back to the Constitution. So amending the Constitution is always a problem for having that two-state majority when it gets to the state houses of assembly. So let me play that policy with the governor of his party, calling together.
All right.
So he needs to attend to that particular.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, the policy of local government.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Okay, I'm in here, but I'm calling from you.
Go ahead, sir.
The policy of chairman, local government chairman, stay in their community as well as local government is very good. I want to illustrate something before I summarize it. I'm going to be very snappy. When a man builds a house in a particular place, when he rent that structure, know that the road leading to the house is not good before he does that. Then after he builds it, he will not go and live in another place. So it ought to be. So all these chairmen that want to aspire now, they need to work at the way their local government council or whatever is staying is interior. So let them be there, let them face their life so that people can come and see them. Not a situation come and hide here in the without or shelter or whatever you do simply because you are chairman. Go and be there in that place. So that people should come and see you and tell you their needs and what they want. The reason for you to couple them is for them to see you, not for them when they look for you, they didn't see you. And all the counselor, the reason for you to be counsel is for people to see you and tell you their needs. So let them be there in that place. Thank you for having me, Pastor.
All right. As much as I support your position, it is not also an opportunity for people to overburden them. They are there to administer the local government and not solve everybody's problems.
Yeah, you recall even the governor during one of his public statements said that people come every day to visit him in government house since he took over as a governor. That he even at the time he'll be seeing the security men talking to them, there will be chancing the security men telling them, don't you know me? Don't you know what I did for him to become? So people shrunk the offices of political office holders, both their homes. Not only chairman and governor, both house members, commissioners, any appointee. People see you as the closest person to the governor. And people come to see you. Those who cannot come to you to see the governor will come to see you. But truth be told, they should also be able to have a program that will capture development in the local government so that people can now be engaged in those industries, in farming and others. So that I used to be alarming. When I visit one of any appointee like a lawmaker, like a commissioner, or I will see people will be there from morning till night, and people keep going. And at the point I'll be asking them, and at the point I'll be asking these appointees, I say, which time do you even have for yourself to even think of planning for the job you are assigned to do? Some will tell me, I say, from morning I will be here attending to people who comes every day, and each time you go there from the gate to the person's sitting room, people are always there. And instead of going to use the opportunity to farm, and this is farming season. This is when such person can be using the time they are waiting for peanut or waiting for tea fair to go and engage in meaningful earning.
If we have to put facts on the table, do you blame them? At the local government level, largely, there are no jobs.
That is why I'm saying
and that's
that
why they need to create the houses of these people to ask them for aid.
No, they're not even
going. If they were engaged, they will not be knocking. I don't think people are that lazy. Because if they were engaged, if there were jobs, cottage industries at the local government levels, they will not be disturbing a local government chairman because they'll be working.
Can I shock you? Now, election will soon, the process has now kickstarted now, based on the ACISEC timetable. Watch out and see. Those who will be in the campaign train of these politicians, of those who will be chairmen, they are youth. Both female youth and male youth. They're the ones that will be wearing tie, wearing wrapper, wearing face cap. So you ask yourself, why are they not in their gainful employment? Why are they not farming? Why are they not using their hands to work? So they are just there forming, a campaign team, forming, becoming a chieftain, party chieftain, and that because their job.
Well, the reason why they are not doing those things is because take or leave, whether you and I agree or not, there are no jobs for them. Because if there are jobs at the local level,
let me tell you,
we have commercials before you tell me. We'll be right back.